So we're here to talk about the project management tool, which is available at projects.honeyguide.org. Thought about making a PowerPoint slides, but it was easier to just demonstrate straight into the tool. So no slides. I'll be talking and demonstrating the features on the go. So you go to projects.honeyguide.org. A page like this will happen. If your computer is set up to light theme, there's light or dark theme, this page will be whiter, or if it is dark theme, it will be darker like you see here, yeah, for your eyes. For every Honeyguide email, you can just click login with Google, like I did. So you click your account and then you log in. If you're not Honeyguide, you will be sent to a page that says an invitation request has been sent. So if you log in with a non-Honeyguide Gmail account, Google account, it will send an invitation first and the admins will approve you. You also have an option to register through username and account, but we will not talk about that because each one of you should have a Honeyguide email. When you click your email account, like what I just did, a page like this will happen. This is your dashboard of the tool. In here, on the left side, this menu item to take you to all the projects that you can see. So you will see only the project you have access to and the public projects. I will explain that later. This is a link to My Tasks. This will go to all your projects and filter the tasks that are assigned to you. We'll talk about that later. This one is All Tasks, which means it will check all tasks from all projects you have access to. And this one, most of you will not see. It says Fundraising Preview because it's a new feature. Right now, only Lizzie, Damian, and the fundraising team can see it. Because they are previewing it, it will be made available for others later. And then there's a section below that says Favorites. When we go into projects later, you will see that you can make a project a favorite, which means you want to see the link of it on your sidebar every time. And then the next one is Recent Project. It will just keep track of the projects you've opened recently. Okay? On the page here, you can also see the top bar where there's a link to search. It searches through text that you will type from all projects, from all tasks, all milestones, all users, all comments and tags. The best way to test that is to just search, and then it will give you search results. Okay. The next one is notifications. It will send you notifications for various things when you are assigned to a project, when you are assigned to a task, when you are removed from a task or project, when someone has commented and put your name, and many other things. And this one is just a link to your profile page and to sign out. Okay. Now, the dashboard itself, let's start with that. A summary of how many tasks you have. Every time you have tasks that are due today, they will pop up here. When every task is not due, this card won't appear. Here, this is a relatively new feature where you can add a to-do list. This only you can see. Okay, so I put my stuff that I want to do because I don't want to forget. So you can put your quick to-do list. Okay, and then your overdue tasks will pop up here. Everything that is overdue will pop up there on the dashboard. It shows everyone who is online right now. So Francis, Mahalafu, Angelo, and Daudi, and myself. Probably forgot, yeah. It shows up everything that's happening from the projects you have access to, and then other metrics below. Okay. Let me make that smaller. And you can disable or enable these widgets on the dashboard. I can say, hey, I don't want all the noise every time. So you can switch off some of these widgets so you have a dashboard that is cleaner. Okay, you choose which widgets you want to see. Everyone can customize their own dashboard. This change only affects your dashboard, no one else. Okay. And then further down in the sidebar, you can see the settings tab. Most of you won't see this option, admin. Only admins can see this, but you'll be able to see profile settings, notification settings, team settings, about settings, and admin stuff that only admins can see. There is a help when you click that one on desktop only. Everything I will explain today and more is explained in this user manual. Okay, so if you have any questions or you're struggling, go and ask it on the help section. And then there are tips. Every time we add an exciting feature, we add a tip to remind you that feature exists. So you will read through the tips later. Some of them I'll cover today. Okay. The biggest thing you have to do in this tool is to manage projects. And when you're managing projects, you're talking about planning for those projects and putting tasks and subtasks. Okay? So let's dive into projects. Here's that. Lucky, can you mute please? Mute your computer. Thank you. Okay. Please, everyone, can you mute your computers? All right. So I will start by showing you how to create new projects, but I'll be very brief because right now you shouldn't be creating many new projects. Our work plan is already there. But let's just go through it. Click a button, new projects, enter a project name, decide a project owner, write some description optionally, decide the status. The default is active, start date of the project and end date of the project, and please keep it as a private project. So don't make it public unless you really want it public. For now, we want only the Honeyguide work plan projects to be the public projects. So Sega, GIA, whatever, dog team, whatever other projects you want to create them as private projects. Okay? So we don't have too many public projects. You can still invite the people you want, even if it's private. What it means is if it's public, everyone in this portal will see that project. When it's private, only the people you have invited will see that project. So please keep it private. Now let's go through the project that has been created. All our work plan, like organized in our work plan, are organized as projects. So Southern Tanzania as a project, Northern Portfolio, Technical Development, M&E, Special Projects, Narrative Change, Finance and Admin. So basically every project that starts with a letter is our work plan project, and we made all of those public because we want each of you to see our work plan. If you are in a project, when you are in a project, there's also for each of you, every member of this portal will get their personal project created automatically when they first log in. Okay? So this only you can see, and you shouldn't share. Ideally, this is your space that no one else sees. Some of you have invited people to private projects. The point of this was your personal space where you can put your tasks that no one else sees. So although you can invite your supervisor if you wanted or anyone else, I advise don't share your private project, that's your personal project. Just create another private project and share with whoever. Okay. Now let's see Southern Tanzania portfolio as an example of how a project looks like. Will's internet is disappointing me right now. Give it a moment. Is there any question from what I've said so far?
Ungefungua no, then nadhani nina activity nyingi kuliko za Saudi.
Okay.
I think.
Switch off your camera.
Switch off my camera because you don't like to see my face.
No.
Cool.
That's that.
I understand. Okay. When you go into a project, so I'm in Northern Tanzania portfolio, I could, the very first thing ideally for that you have to do, I assume you are the owner of that project, you have to go to members and add your members. So your team, for example, if you're Max, no one else will be able to add tasks, edit tasks in this project until you add them as a member. So you go to members section, add them, enter their email address. If they don't exist in the portal, they will get an invitation to the portal. Or search for them from the list here, it's loading, and then take everyone that will pop you want to add. So you can add multiple members at the same time. When you invite someone, you decide, do you want them to be a project member, which means they can edit, they can add tasks, or project viewer, which means they can be assigned the tasks, but they cannot edit. So when you have someone, you say, hey, I want you to see the tasks in my project. I want you to be assigned tasks, but I don't want you to change dates, add or delete. You add them as viewers. Okay? When you add them as members, you're saying, hey, I'm allowing you to be able to edit any tasks, milestones in this project. Okay? And then managers can even remove people or add people to the project. Okay? Taking a bit, but it will populate the list of all our users to enable you to take a checklist for all the members you want to add, and then you can select you want to add them as what role and then add them. So I'll just stop the process for now. These are all the project members. Only admins can remove members. Okay, so most of you won't see this option. The last option in projects is it logs everything that changes in this project. So when a new task is added, a new member is added, a new task is deleted, the deadline has changed, the feed will keep logs. And Will Internet will continue disappointing me. Okay, I'm skipping tasks because that's the heart. The overview section shows you the overview of that project. So very straightforward, the summary of the milestones in that project and the progress for each milestone, how many tasks are in that project, what is the next deadline in that project, what are your tasks in that project, what are the team members in that project, and the activities that have happened. Maxed, updated, brainstorm ideas for coaching between chairpersons and HG. Okay. Milestones in your work plan, they are the row. Every row you see in your work plan is a milestone in this tool. When you create a private project, you can decide how to break your work. Milestones are also containers of your tasks. All tasks in this platform will be organized within a milestone. You cannot have a task that does not have a parent milestone. Okay? So in portfolios, you will see that in your work plan, every WMA in Northern Tanzania has its own row. So that milestone has been copied here. And the deliverables in our work plan have been copied here. And the tasks are there. You cannot edit on milestones page. Yeah? You cannot add tasks on milestone page. But you can edit the milestone if you're a project manager. I'm skipping tasks. Bear with me for one more minute. I'll go into tasks because we'll spend a lot of time there. There is also tags, but these are project tags. So when you're in a project, you can create tags within that project that no other project can use or see. Okay, so Northern Tanzania can create their own tags, Southern Tanzania their own tags, Sega their own tags. In this tool, there's also what we call global tags, which are created by admins only in settings. I won't go over that for now. But when you're in a project, you will see all the global tags and you will see all the project specific tags, and you can decide which tags you want to assign to your tasks. We'll see that later. I'll go back to a project page. New feature added yesterday is you can import tasks by uploading a CSV file. Okay, it's very straightforward. I won't go into it. You can download a template, do your tasks on Excel, and then upload it, and it will import all your tasks. For those of you who found the tool difficult to add one task at a time. And if you are a supervisor of the project, owner of the project, you can edit the project. You can also reorder milestones, which most of you won't be able to do. Only project owners will be able to do. And please don't do that for the work plan things because they are already ordered. Okay? Now, the heart of this tool is tasks. So let's spend the next 10 minutes on this page, and then I'll hand over to Francis to show you some tips and tricks. You will find that there's 3 different ways you can look at your tasks. The first is list view. The second one is Gantt chart view. And the third one is Kanban view. The list view does lists, puts all your tasks in a list. By default, they are organized by milestone, but you can organize by priority. You can group them by assigned person. You can group them by status. You choose which grouping makes the most sense for you. Milestone makes the most sense for me and probably for most of you. You can export all your tasks to a CSV or a PDF, a new feature added yesterday, if you wanted to print or share with your team or whatever. You can also expand all the tasks and subtasks or collapse them so you only see the parent tasks. You can reorder if you are an admin, and you can search on the fly. Everything I've explained here is done on the browser. So when you do it, it doesn't remember when you reload the page. Okay? It doesn't save your filters or your columns. It remembers your columns though. Or you can also choose which columns you want to see on this list view. I'll go quickly on the other views, much less complicated and probably most of you won't use. But a Gantt chart organizes your task per duration of the task. So it will list all your tasks. You can still do the groupings like the other view, but you view a task on a timeline. Okay, so this task happens from this date to the end of it. Let me just put a month so it squishes everything. So you can see all your tasks on a timeline, like how calendar does. Okay, Damien loves this tool, me not so much. So each of you will pick how do you want to look at your tasks. Kanban view puts your tasks in columns. The default is 1 column for each status of the task. So you could just decide this task is a to-do task or in progress, and you can just scroll to reorganize and say this task is pending review or is completed. Sorry, Max, it will send you a notification, but just demonstrating Kanban makes it easy to move tasks between columns. You can choose your columns to be status or by priority, so no priority, low priority, medium priority, or by milestone. So you can organize your tasks by your milestones. Remember, you can drag these tasks between these columns. That's a Kanban view. Some of you like this way of seeing tasks. You can also filter tasks. It's very straightforward. So you choose your filters. I want to only filter tasks by Bo or by Fatma or by Damian or a certain status or a certain due date, and you can apply and it will filter your tasks. Okay, back to list view, my favorite view. Most of you will find this the easiest view because you can see all your tasks and subtasks in one list. Okay, the list view allows you to first drag to reorganize the tasks. Okay, in each of those views, you can click the task to see it and see all the task details. Okay, so I click a task and I see it. So in each of those views, you can do that. On Kanban view, you can just click any task and then it will open on a sidebar like that. In it, you can edit the task name, you can edit the priority, you can assign the task to people, you can put start and end date. Some tasks are repeated tasks, so you can decide repeating how often and other settings in repeating, and you can choose a milestone. Within a task, you're also allowed to break it down into checklists. Yeah. For some of you, you prefer this model. A checklist is just a checklist. You can't assign it. You can't put a due date. You just put list of things. Or you can break it down into subtasks, which has more details. So a subtask is basically a task that is a child of another task. Okay. You can go up to 3 levels: main task, subtask, subtask of a subtask. So a grandchildren of the main task. Okay. Within a task, you can also chat. You can comment, how is this task going? You can comment and put @ symbol if you wanted to tag someone and they will get a notification, email. And within a task, you can also see the history of that task. Okay. Within a task, you can also upload attachments, but it's hidden. So you have to click description to be able to see this place to upload attachments. Okay, otherwise it's hidden. When there is an attachment, it will show up every time. It's not hidden, but when there's none, it's hidden. You have to enable description to see it. Okay, that's that about a task, and I have 5 more minutes to explain list view. So list view, some of the cool features that I want to show you that are not very obvious. You can double click. You need to be really quick to edit. Yeah, because when you click too slow, it opens the task. So I'll demonstrate. I clicked, it opened. Yeah, but when I'm fast, I can double click to edit. So you can edit a task name, a status, a priority. That helps you edit a task without having to open it. Okay, another cool feature, you can right click, and that enables you to also do some edits, move the task, or duplicate the task and make a clone of that task. You can even delete from here if you're allowed to delete. Okay. Another cool feature is you can right click a subtask, and you can right click a task and create a child of that subtask right from list view. Okay. That's that. Another one is, you can reduce number of columns. Okay, I think those were it for list view. Oh, the only last cool feature is you can do actions in multiple tasks. So see how I'm clicking and ticking these tasks, and a thing appears at the bottom that lets me do an action for all the tasks I've selected. Okay, so I can change the status, I can change the priority, I can change the milestone, or I can delete all the selected tasks. Okay, that's that from tasks. That's that from the list views. Import, I've explained. Play with it. Export, I've explained. Go ahead and play with it. I think that's it. Let me go into settings and show you settings for the next 2 minutes. On profile one, you can change your profile photo, your title. You can change your password, or if it's connected to Google, you don't have to. You can change how it looks. So right now I like this gradient theme. Ima likes the dark mode when everything is friendly to your eyes. And I think Damien likes the white thing that doesn't have too many colors. So you choose your poison there. You see how my page, when I load my page, is animating. So it comes and it slides down. Ima hates it. So you can disable that. For me, I like it, but you can disable. Now when I reload, the page will just come. It won't animate. Okay, that's that for settings. If internet permits me, I will show you one more setting, and then I'll welcome Francis to tell us what tips and tricks and lessons he's had when he used this tool, and then we'll invite you for questions.
Tamani eleza ile process nzima kwanza kutoka kwenye working plan kaja kwenye milestone kaja kwenye task na hiyo process.
Utaiuliza maswali la kwanza.
Sawa.
Nitaelezea. Okay. As it's loading, Melek's first question, which you will answer later, is the process from taking the work plan to milestones to tasks. I will answer that at questions session. But now, I really wanted to go back to settings. It's taking its time. Okay. I'll come back to this. Let me welcome Franz. Okay, let me explain it without you seeing it. When I go back to settings, the second setting said notifications. You can choose which notifications you want to see between emails, push notifications, or notifications within the app here. Okay. So when something happens, you can choose. Maybe you don't want to be notified every time someone assigns you or mentions you, or every time you're invited. So you can choose the notifications you want to see. One final cool feature, and I'll stop, is you can install this app on your device. In the computer, you just say install. It will pop up here on the address bar, which I'm sure you cannot see. Here, it will pop up here, and you click here and install. When you install, it will come as an app like this. Okay. So you can install this app, and on your phone, you can also install it. There is a very detailed guidance on how to do that in the help section in the manual, in the app. Okay. Karibu Francis. I'll pause there. Francis will explain a bit, and then we will hear your questions.
Asante sana.
Francis, I will stop sharing if you want to share your screen.
Okay. Asante sana. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Some I think you have explained even yale ambayo nilikuwa nimetaka ku-explain, but I will focus on adding new task ambao pia umeelezea a bit, lakini pia setting status, setting task priority, adding task description pamoja na attachment, assigning task, lakini pia setting start and end dates, jumlisha na hiyo recurrence ya activity, lakini pia kuna kuset tags, and then tutamalizia na checklist, subtask pamoja na comments and feeds. So Hapa ndo tunatumia kwenye kuadd new task, ambapo kama ambavyo tuliona sasa task nyingi tayari zilishakuwa added kutokana na zilivyokuwa zimechukuliwa kwenye Zoho zikaletwa moja kwa moja kwenye hii system. So nitaenda moja kwa moja kwenye miongoni mwa task ambazo niko nazo hapa. Miongoni mwa hizi ambazo niko nazo milestone task zangu, so itafunguka kama hivyo. Sasa hapa kwenye baada ya kuadi, kwa sababu tayari ni task, sasa tunakuja kwenye kuseti priority na vitu vingine. Ili tuweze kuseti priority, kwanza tunakuja hapa kuseti status, ambayo inaonyesha kuna options kadhaa ambazo kuna to do, kuna in progress, kuna pending review, kuna completed, kuna on hold or blocked. Kwa maana kwamba utakuwa unaziseti according to wewe, kwa sababu wewe utakapoziseti ndivyo ambavyo pia zitakuja kukuonyesha kwenye dashboard activity zipi zipo kwenye to do list, activity zipi zipo kwenye in progress list, activity zipi zipo kwenye review au ziko pending kwenye review na kadhalika. After kuseti hapa, tayari unakuja kwenye kipengele kingine ambacho una set priority. Hapa kwenye priority una set kama ni nani, unaweka nani. Kama ni low priority your activity au your task, unaweka low. Kama ni medium au kama ni high, una set high. Pia itakuja kukuonyesha wakati unafanya, wakati upo kwenye wakati upo kwenye overview au upo kwenye ile home ya project yako, itakuwa inakuonyesha kwamba ni project ngapi zipo kwenye priority fulani na ni activity ngapi zipo kwenye priority fulani kulingana na vile ambavyo umeseti. Baada ya hapo, in case kwamba unahitaji kuweka description ya hiyo activity, kwa maana kwamba umeset activity tayari hii hapa ambayo tunaiona, lakini pia unataka kuadd some few descriptions ambazo zitakusaidia au zitaguide wengine katika utaklik hapa kwenye description pamoja na attachment. Ukiklik automatically itafunguka hiyo kuna section fulani kama hapa mimi unavyoona kwamba tunasema kwamba ni policy network and facilitation. Hii ni miongoni mwa description ambayo imewekwa, and ukishamaliza kuseti description pia unaweza ukaifanyia customization kama ambavyo iko kwenye Microsoft Word ambavyo inaonekanaga pia, na hapa unaweza kufanya hivyo. Kwa mfano tunaweza tuka highlight na tuka bold kama ambavyo tunaona, tunaweza tukafanya hivyo. So hizi ni settings ambazo unaweza kuzifanya hapa, lakini ukimaliza unaweza ukasave. Lakini pia mbali na kuweka description, pia kuna room ya kuweka attachment, ambapo kama kuna file ambayo you think kwamba hiyo activity inaweza unaweza ukaweka hapo, na utafanya hivyo kwa browse, unaenda itakupeleka moja kwa moja kwenye file explorer yako, then utachagua file na upload. Lakini hapa pia wanakuambia kwamba max ni iwe na 10 MB per file, kwa maana kwamba kila file lako liwe na maximum ya MB 10. So ukishamaliza save kama hivyo. Ukisha save hapa, hii description itaonekana. Kama pia kuna attachment pia ita pop up. Hapo unakuwa tumemaliza kwenye kuset description pamoja na attachment. Tunakuja section nyingine ambayo ni kuassign. Hapa kwenye kuassign ni pale ambapo sasa umeset activity, lakini wewe kama maybe ni project manager au ni una add hizi activity, kwa maana sio wote ambao wanaingia unaweza ukamwassign mtu. Sasa hapa unaweza kuassign mtu ambaye yupo kwenye hiyo project tu. Hauwezi kumwassign mtu ambaye yuko out ya hiyo project. Kwa mfano hapa mimi katika project yangu hawa ndio watu ambao tunasema kwamba project members tu naweza nikawaassign. Otherwise siwezi nikamwassign mtu mwingine kutoka nje ya hii project. So kwa mfano hapa naweza nikasema kwamba namwassign Francis. Huyo nikishamwassign atakwenda kupata notification kwamba amekuwa assigned kwenye task fulani. Lakini naweza nikawaassign watu zaidi ya mmoja, kwa maana kwamba naweza nikamwassign na Damian kwenye hii pia naye atapata notification kwamba amekuwa assigned kwenye task fulani. So hivyo ndivyo ambavyo tunaweza kuset assignee kwenye hii tool. Baada ya assignee, ili sasa kuweza kuleta mtiririko mzuri wa namna gani kazi zako zitakwenda, utatakiwa pia kuseti start date na end date au due date. Start date ni simple kama ambavyo tunaona hapa, una select kwamba activity hiyo au hiyo task inaanza lini. Kwa mfano hapa I can set iende kwenye tarehe 30 ya mwezi wa 4, lakini due date niweke kama ambavyo ilikuwa hapa. So unaweza pia ukachange in case kwamba unaona kwamba umeinsert tofauti na vile ambavyo ulikuwa unatarajia, una change ili kumit mahitaji yako. Lakini pia kuna recurrence hapa, kwa maana kwamba hiyo activity je, ina repeat au hai repeat. So hapa kwenye recurrence ziko za namna kadhaa. Kuna ambayo hai repeat kabisa. Kama activity yako hai repeat kabisa au haitokei mara kwa mara, utaseti tu does not repeat. Lakini kama inatokea kila siku au kama unaifanya kila siku, unaweza ukaseti inalikaa kila siku. Lakini pia kama ni weekly, utaseti weekly. The same kwa hizi zingine pia. Kwa hiyo system itakuwa inasoma kwamba hii activity kwa kisha seti hapa, kwa mfano tukiweka monthly, system pia ina extend na kuuliza every 1 month. Unaweza ukaseti kwamba every 2 months au every 1 month, whatever ambavyo utaona. Lakini pia itakuuliza the same day of month, utaseti au the same day of week. Unachagua hapa kulingana na option ambazo wewe unaona kwamba iko sawa kwa upande wako. Lakini the same kwenye upande wa kumalizia, hiyo inaisha lini, end of the year, on date, au unaweza kuchagua specific date ambayo hiyo activity inaisha. Lakini pia kuna after, pia kwa maana kwamba iishe baada gani, baada ya kutokea mara 10 au baada ya kutokea mara ngapi, utaseti hapa kulingana na vile ambavyo hiyo activity ipo. Pia hapa chini kuna create new next instance. So hapa kwenye instance ni zile ambazo sasa unataka zikuonyeshe kwamba baada ya ile activity ya kwanza ulioiseti kukamilika, hiyo nyingine ije vipi. Kwa maana kwamba when I completed this task, kwa maana kwamba ukishamaliza ndo iji create hiyo instance mpya, au on the due date, baada ya tarehe ile ulioseti pale, ile due date ulioseti pale kufika, au create all instance now, wakati una create nini, wakati una create task husika. Kwa maana kwamba umesha seti na umeseti kwamba inalikaa, but unataka create hizo instance ya wakati una create hiyo activity, au utachagua option ambayo unaona inakufaa zaidi. So hivyo ndivyo ambavyo tunaweza tukaset repetition ya hizi task au recurrence ya hizi task. Hapa inatuonyesha hiyo task iko kwenye milestone gani. No, sasa hapa pia unaweza ukamove au ukashift hizi task kutoka kwenye milestone moja kuipeleka kwenye milestone nyingine, in case kama uliweka kimakosa kwenye milestone hiyo. So hapa as you can see kwamba my task ipo kwenye police. Kwa hapa mimi niko na navigate, hii activity yangu inapatikana kwenye milestone ya police. Baada ya hapo kuna tags. Hapa kwenye tags kuna tags ambazo ni global kama ambavyo nimesema Sam, na kuna tags ambazo zinapatikana kwenye specific project. Hii project haina tags yoyote, lakini project manager anaweza ka create tags ambazo zitakuwa zinatumika kwenye hii project specifically. Kwa maana hapa tunaona kama ambavyo tunaona kwamba inasema no tags, kwa sababu hakuna tags yote ambayo imekuwa created na project manager. So kama kungekuwa kuna tags hapa, unaweza pia uka-add tags ambazo ukienda pia kwenye overview au kwenye dashboard unaweza kuona tags za hii activity, au unaweza kuona tag ambayo umeziweka kwenye activity husika. Baada ya hapo tuangalie checklist. Hapa kwenye checklist unaweza ukaorodhesha vitu ambavyo unapenda au labda unadhani vinafaa kuorodheshwa hapo. Kwa mfano, unaweza ukaorodhesha labda vitu ambavyo unaweza ukavi-accomplish baada ya hiyo activity kukamilika, au unaweza ukaweka checklist kama procedures au process ambazo utakazozifuata ile step by step, kwa maana kwamba activity yako itaanza na step gani mpaka inafikia mwisho, kwa baadaye unakuwa ni kama una tick. Kwa ukiadi hapa ukiadi like checklist kama hii hapa, kitakachokuja ni kwamba baadaye what you can do, unakuwa ukipiga tiki inajitiki kama imekuwa done. Means ni kwamba hiyo activity au hicho kitu au hiyo hatua tayari umeshaikamilisha, lakini ukiuncheck inakuwa hivyo. But also una option ya kuifuta in case kama umeiweka tofauti au hukutaka kuweka hiyo checklist. So hivyo ndivyo ambavyo tunaweza tukaadi checklist. Hapa kuna subtasks kama ambavyo Sam ameongelea pale awali. Hizi subtasks pia unaweza ukamtag mtu au ukamwassign mtu wakati unazitengeneza, na kuna levels ambazo ukifika hauwezi tena kucreate subtask nyingine, badala yake itakwambia ni kwamba hauwezi tena kucreate hiyo subtask. Kwa unaweza ukaadi hapo subtask, na yenyewe pia utakuja kuicustomize kama ambavyo inaonekana hii, kwa sababu na yenyewe pia itaonekana tu kama subtask zingine au itaonekana kama task, kwa sababu ukisha create you can, let's say tuna create hapa ya mfano ambayo tunaweza tukaipopulate na kuona the way ambavyo hizi zingine zitafanya kazi, lakini katika namna ile ile ambavyo kwa hapa tuna add like task, like subtask. Tukisha add we can populate hii hapa sasa, tunaweza inatupeleka inakuwa kama nini, kama new task, ambapo pia tunaweza tena tukaanza sasa kuiset kama vile ambavyo tuna set kwenye task. So hivyo ndivyo ambavyo tunaweza kucreate subtask, lakini ikifika hatua itatuambia kwamba we can't create hiyo subtask anymore, na naweza nikadelete hapa hii task yangu. System inanikatalia, but I can delete hii subtask baadaye. So tukitoka hapa kwenye subtask kuna comments. Hapa kwenye comments, in case kama una any comment kuhusiana na hiyo task unaweza ukacomment, lakini pia unaweza ukamention mtu in case kama kuna unataka kummention mtu na kadhalika. Na hapa kuna feeds ambazo inatuonyesha history za vitu ambavyo vimefanyika kwenye hiyo specific task. So ukimaliza unaweza close, halafu then unakuja kuona huku changes ambazo zimefanyika. Kama ambavyo tunaweza kuona kuna hizi hapa zinazoonekana kama ni columns, ambapo hapa inatuonyesha ni task, hapa inatuonyesha status, hapa inatuonyesha priority, assignee, due date, tags pamoja na milestones na start date pamoja na start dates. Hizi ndio columns ambazo tunaziona. So ukinani hapa utaweza kuona kwamba kuna subtask ambazo zilikuwa zimewekwa kwenye hii task husika, na hawa ni watu ambao wamekuwa assigned na priority yake ni hapa kama ambavyo tunaweza kuona. So sometime unaweza ukaadi task na ukaona kwamba haijakuonyesha ule changes yoyote. So unachokifanya hii system, hususan kwa wale ambao wanaotumia app, ukitumia app kuna sometime ukiadi task unaona kama vile hauoni changes ambazo umezifanya. So what you can do just to refresh. Na ili uweze kurefresh, ukiangalia hapa kwenye hii bado hakujawa na any sign ambayo inakuonyesha kwamba ukibonyeza itakupa room ya wewe kurefresh. So what you can do ni kwamba utabonyeza control, utabonyeza shift, utabonyeza na R, ambayo hiyo ni tunasema kwamba ni shortcut ya kurefresh. Kwa hiyo ita refresh kama hivyo, alafu then utaweza kuona changes ambazo umezifanya kwenye system na kuendelea. So kwa nini tuna set hizi vyote ambavyo nilikuwa nasema hapa, ni kwa sababu ili uweze kuona changes. Kwa mfano ukija huko kwenye dashboard, ili uweze kuona changes zile ambazo tulikuwa tunaziseti, ndizo ambazo zilikuwa zinatufanya tuweze kujua ipi inaendaje na ipi inafanyaje. So project manager yeye ataweza kujua kwamba task ipi iko kwenye inatakiwa ifanywe leo, task ipi iko overdue na kuna task ngapi. Hapa tumesema kwamba hii ni general dashboard, lakini ukienda kwenye project moja moja you can see kwamba kuna ngapi ambazo zinatakiwa zifanyike. Kwa mfano kama hapa nikienda kwenye overview, naweza nikaona kwamba milestone ambazo niko nazo ni 5. Naweza kuona kuna task ambazo zimefanyika tayari ambazo zimekuwa marked kama done ni 15 kati ya 69, ambazo ziko overdue ziko 9, na hapa ambazo zinafuata au next deadline ambazo zinafuatia ziko hapa. Lakini pia kuna status za task status breakdown, ambao kama ambavyo tulikuwa tunazungumza mwanzoni, tunaona kuna to do ziko 44, kuna in progress, kuna in review. So ukiseti kule pia huku ndivyo ambavyo utakuja kuona wakati wa kuangalia hii overview dashboard, na inasaidia kwenye kujua kwamba ni task gani inatakiwa ifanywe, ni task gani inayofuatia, na ni task gani ambayo imepita muda wake. So hapa kuna team member, na hapa chini kuna recent activity ambazo nimezifanya kwenye hii project husika. So hivyo ndivyo ambavyo tunaweza tukaitumia hii tool katika kuadi task na kumanage task ambazo tunaziadi. Asanteni.
All right, thanks Francis for that. Pole guys, we have 8 minutes and we would love to hear your questions and see if we can address them all. Au tunaweza kupanga a specific session to go over where you're struggling. We are forming also a support group for this tool. Francis atakuwa kama chairman kwa sababu amekuwa champion.
Yeah.
We'll have 5 members. I will circulate over email. You can go to anytime you're struggling, so you don't have to wait for me or Emmanuel IT. So you can go to this support group for help. You can go to suggest features. You can go to get inspiration, tips and tricks of using the tool. But karibuni for your reactions, questions, comments, anything. Karibu Hitler.
Yeah, asante. Nashukuru kwanza kwa session, imekuwa nzuri na tumeweza kupata experience kidogo. Lakini swali langu mimi ilikuwa ni kwenye tukiingia kwa mfano kiingia kwenye hii dashboard, naweza nikaona kazi ambazo niko assigned na unaona mpo labda watu 3, 4, 5. Sasa yani nashindwa kujua, unajuaje kama huyu ndo inabidi afanye hii shughuli, au zile notification zikufikia tu ni alarm kwamba hiyo kazi inatakiwa wendo uimalize? Bado hapo ndo sijapata uelewa mzuri kwenye hilo.
Okay. So hiyo ni decision sana sana ya kwako na kiongozi wako. Ningesema ni good practice kuassign mtu mmoja kwenye tasks, ili kusiwe na watu wengi wako confused kwamba are they all responsible. Ni best practice kuassign mtu mmoja, lakini you can assign multiple people. When that happens, labda utafute clarification from whoever assigned you kwamba mimi ni mmoja ya watu wengi ulioto assign, who is really responsible. Ila ningeshauri wote ambao mna assign watu assign mtu mmoja tu, au wengine waache kwenye comments waweke kwingine, lakini only one person responsible to a certain task. Kama hiyo task ina a lot of steps, break it down into subtasks ili kila subtask iwe na mtu mmoja.
Sam,
karibu Francis.
Kwa nyongeza pia, kwa mfano kwa upande wetu kuna some task ambazo zinahusisha mtu zaidi ya mmoja. Mfano wakati wa kutengeneza blog au wakati wa kutengeneza newsletter. So tunachokifanya ni kwamba kuna lead ambaye ana lead your project, ana lead your activity, lakini wengine wanakuwepo kama wana assist ile process. So tunachokifanya ni kwamba anaye lead anakuwa ndo namba 1 kuwa assigned, wanaofuatia wanakuwa kama assistant, lakini pia kunakuwa na hiyo regular follow up ya kuangalia ni katika stage gani mtu anatakiwa ahusishwe, au katika hatua gani mtu atatakiwa afanye kitu fulani. So kwa upande wetu sisi ndo tunafanya hivyo ili kuweza kurahisisha namna ambavyo tunaweza tukajua kwamba natakiwa niingie wapi au natakiwa nisaidie wapi, ili niweze kufanya mambo hii activity au hii task ikamilike kama ilivyokuwa inatarajiwa kwa wakati na ifikie malengo ambayo yalikuwa yamekusudiwa.
Okay. Asante Francis. Tuna dakika 3 kwa hiyo itabidi tujitahidi kuuliza maswali yetu haraka afu na sisi tutajibu very brief, but like I said, you can always get help kwa Francis and the 3 other members from the support group will announce. Karibu, any other questions? Suggestions? Comments baadaye. Suggestions? Anyone?
Kuna kitu ambacho kwenye nani nimekiona. Zamani kwenye Zoo, kwenye kila task inakuwa ukisema in progress inakuandika na percent. Na tukiona kwenye hii hapa haikuandiki percentage kwa kila progress. So kwenye dashboard utaona kuna percentage fulani lakini kwa the whole milestone. So kama itawezekana tukapata features kwamba ukisema in progress and which percentage.
Not yeah. So nachukua notes, lakini kama Ima IT kwenye call or Francis tunanisaidia kuzifikisha. Meleka na suggest task progress iwe ina percentages. Sasa hivi inasema to do in progress done. Haina ile percentage of completion. So ni feature ambayo Meleka naipendekeza.
The other thing kwenye hiyo nasema changamoto inakuja mtu akiweka kwenye task yake hata kama ndio responsible. Inavyotumia notification inakuandikia somebody assigned you. Kwa tayari kwenye kichwa unasema hii nimeambia assigned. So kama inawezekana ikawa ni kuna assignee na assistant au labda supporters au unamtag mtu followers. Yeah, I don't know. You explore your features. Yeah.
Sawa. Something maybe in the future anachopendekeza ni kwamba kuwe na assignee na kuwe na followers or people can be tagged ambao wanatakiwa wawe informed na kuwa updated on that task. So that's something else tutapeleka kwa IT. For now unaweza kutumia hata section ya description kuandika kwamba nani anafanya nini kwenye hiyo task. Karibu Sele. And we have maybe 1 more minute. Karibu Sele, be brief. Sele? Okay, he disappeared.
Yes, hello. Hello.
We have 1 minute, be brief. Go.
Okay. Hapa kwenye task breakdown, naomba kama task imekuwa postponed au imekuwa blocked, sioni kama kuna sehemu ya kuainisha hiyo. Sijajua kwamba ni the future that you can address in the future au inabidi iwe hivyo.
Sijaelewa swali. Francis, kama umeelewa respond.
Sijamuelewa vizuri, maybe angerudia.
Hapa kwenye task breakdown ipo to do, ipo ni progress, in review na completed. Sehemu gani hapo unaweza kuaddress kama task imekuwa postponed au imekuwa blocked for whatever reason? Sijui kama nimeeleweka.
Unachosema task status kwa sasa hauoni sehemu ya kuiset kwamba iko blocked. Correct?
Yes, au postponed. Yes.
Okay. Francis, just confirm kama hiyo ni kweli, basi ni bug tu ya ku correct kwamba haijaleta hiyo status ya blocked.
Kuna status ya on hold or blocked.
Sasa umeiona?
Hapa.
Okay. Yes, nimeiona. Asante.
All right, thank you everyone. I want to respect your time, and this is 1 minute over already. Like we said, you can always get help. There is that support group. You can always suggest features. We made this tool ourselves. We can add or remove anything. So use it, seek help. Yeah, that's it. Asanteni sana. Enjoy your time. Bye.